But first, we have breaking news. We just learned that there was a massive cyber attack at the Pentagon late last month. Fox News correspondent Jennifer Griffin is at the Pentagon. What do we know about the attack, Jennifer? This was on the Pentagon's Joint Chief Staff?
That's right, Tom. Officially, the Defense Department is remaining mum about the attack, but a senior U.S. defense official tells Fox News that they strongly suspect that Russia is behind a recent cyber attack on the Pentagon's Joint Staff's email system.
All right, great information. Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. Thank you very much. Well, joining us now is Judith Miller, Fox News contributor, Jessica Tarloff, Democratic pollster and strategist, and Katherine Timpf, National Review online reporter. And Judith, let me start with you. This business about Russia, this isn't the first time. There's all kinds of, there's nefarious things going on there.
Right, Tom, this is not the first time. This is not the first player. We are uncertain at the moment whether or not this is Russia, A, B, whether or not it's the Russian government, or C, whether or not it's Russian hackers, because they have a very vibrant Russian hacking private sector, as it were. The problem is us. We've known about these vulnerabilities for a long time. We have repeated assaults and repeated penetrations. Sony, OPM, the Office of Personnel Management, millions of files.
Yes.
2 attacks, at least, that have been publicized now about Russia. It's our problem to solve. The Congress has legislation that it will not act on. And Ash Carter, the defense secretary, is very frustrated because he can't even marshal cooperation from the private sector.
Well, Katherine, let me ask you, because this is something that I would love to pick on the government and their incompetence, but quite honestly, it's also Target, and it's a bunch of private corporations as well. It just doesn't seem like we really are up to defending ourselves in the tech area.
Well, it's the government's responsibility to figure that out, and I hope that people hit Hillary on this kind of thing even more. If she's sending classified emails from her personal email, that certainly doesn't help with security. And it's very, very important because think about it. These are the couple times that we've found it, and it has been quite a few, but think of all the times that we haven't found it. Because obviously if you find something, it's probably happened a lot more without getting caught.
Jessica, we barely have this story, and already we are relating it to Hillary's emails.
Well, one of us
because
I'm not there yet.
It's the principle of the thing.
Well, but she claims that everything was secure. How does she know? How does anybody know what they're...
I think we have an investigation for a reason. I mean, what Hillary Clinton did insofar as having a private server, I think everyone here would agree that that was a mistake. We're going to find out if she ended up dealing in classified material or if, as she said, that these were classified after the fact. But I want to go back to what Judy was saying at first. Whenever this happens, I think about Leon Panetta giving a speech on the Intrepid a few years ago where he said that the next war that we're going to be fighting is in the cyberspace. And that's exactly where we are right now. And it makes it all the more difficult to think that we're making good diplomatic decisions with Russia and China about the Iranian deal, which Judy's written incredibly beautifully about. And that's what's really concerning here, that these are people that we have to work with to some degree that we know do not have our best interests at heart and have people within their own nations that are working against their own governments to get at our information, both private and public. So I completely agree there's a dearth of leadership here. But insofar as the Clinton emails, I think that this is really a wait-and-see situation. And the fact that we've gotten now to a full criminal probe at this point, I think is probably a good thing, and hopefully it comes out that she wasn't dealing in classified information there, but we just can't say it.
Back to the Pentagon issue, though. I mean, this is one of those where, again, the private sector has been hit as well. I asked Donald Rumsfeld, it had to have been well over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I said, are we in a cyber war yet? And he goes, oh, we've been in it for some time.
Right.
So at what point do we declare war?
Well, I think we kind of have. It's just that nobody's noticed. The Congress hasn't responded. And Google, Apple, and the other companies really are not cooperating. We had Edward Snowden who said, the government is violating your privacy by looking at your emails, reading your emails. Well, first of all, the government wasn't doing that. But second of all, unless we have the private sector mobilized with the government on this, we are never going to protect ourselves.
But the problem with that is they're afraid that the government's going to get into the information. The privacy issue will get all messed up. So people are very reluctant to say, I'm going to share my customer data with the U.S. government.
I think that's a valid concern.
But that really is a leadership issue and a confidence in government issue. And I don't think the Republicans at this point are contributing to confidence in government by assailing everything that the president tries to do, even in this critical area of cyber defense.
All right. Well, let's get back. Hillary's email scandal.